went on that Cassiopeia, and real credit to them for never letting the gold balloon, for stacking those dragons, and frankly on the other side, BLG, there are some questions about what was happening around those objectives. One or two of those barons were very stealable. Some of the contests around the dragons on their own end weren't exactly smoothly executed, and the poke just ended up getting absorbed by the likes of that Cassante so freely.
When that Cassante had 4 Chemtech Drakes, Chemtech Soul, 4 tank items,
touch him.
I'm like, you can scale all you want. You cannot get through that Cassante, and he proved the unbreakable wall, the unbreachable wall here that DK needed to take victory over BLG in game 1.
And look, shout out to someone like Korea as well, who was on that Nautilus through a few hooks, were a little bit overeager, but some of them that were absolutely killer. Locking down the likes of Viper in particular in that bot side play was really, really clutch. It's what they needed to come back into those late stages. And again, the fact that they never let that game get out of reach. We saw a few thousand gold maximum for BLG, which is real credit over to Dplus Kia. Bans now through for our second game here. The Orianna, the Syndra are away from Knight, and of course, theoretically, Viper alongside that Nocturne, the Bard, the Vi, and of course the Vayne, and now a potential first pick Nard into Siwoo.
Yeah, I mean, that ban onto the Vayne tells us the story immediately. They wanted to protect their topside pick. Bin, obviously very comfortable, very good, in my opinion, on this Gnar. So they've decided to give him that priority. They've said, you need to answer into this. But first pick blind on that Gnar, I mean, it's a statement. It's a confident decision, in my opinion. But then on the other side, we see DK lock in that Rise. So there's going to be a lot of realm warping. There's going to be playing through sides and some playmaking coming through from ShowMaker.
That it is. And again, Rise in general, very, very potent. It's a good takeaway from Knight as well, who's obviously very good at the champion. And ShowMaker on great form, and that's really important because, again, look who you're up against. We've all seen the MSI graphics and just the graphics across the year for Knight and the numbers he has been putting up. Very, very potent indeed. Karma, a potential lock-in as well for Korea.
I think there was some phenomenal stat about Knight's Orianna that came out of MSI 2026. It was something like 16, 17 games undefeated.
Ridiculous. Yes.
You cannot give this man Orianna, which is why it was the first ban out of DK. But then only taking away that Rise and Ori, and the Syndra obviously is again another Knight special, but he's still such an ever-present threat in that mid lane. With ShowMaker, as we said, in good form, you still need to respect what Knight can do.
So the Ezreal taken away here by Viper, by far, I think, his most potent traditional AD carry. Has been looking very good on the majors of late, but in terms of his consistency in the regular season across this year, certainly not what we saw from him last year on HLE, I think it's fair to say. They'll lock that in alongside On's Seraphine. On the Seraphine, very, very strong, was one of the better playmaking Enchanter players, if that's not an oxymoron, there's a term I'm looking for. And now, of course, you have to look over to Dplus Kia to see what they want to lock in, whether they want to find something for Smash here, like the Jhin that they're hovering, or look to lock in something to match against Bin.
With this Seraphine, I will be looking for multi-man encores. I'll be looking for extended encores to get that lockdown, that CC control that will buy the time BLG are looking for to jump on top of DK and close out these fights. Because that encore is a difference maker. It's a complete wipeout if it lands onto 3+, and DK need to be respectful of it. That said, Mel is still up, but I don't think she's got any space left in this draft because we've got that Jhin on that bot side as AD carry as well as Karma. So that's already your bot and mid locked in.
I suspect at this point, Dplus Kia will be wanting to take out picks for Knight. Things like the Annie is great playmaking. And I suspect on the other side, you get the early Gnar. You want to defend it. You've already got rid of the Vi, but I'm imagining some other bans up against Siwoo to try and trim down the answers to a Gnar.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I love the call on that Annie as we deliberate on this 4th ban for BLG. Both teams have locked in their bot side, so there'll be nothing there. Mid locked in for DK, but not so much for BLG. So Ambessa on the top, protecting that Gnar as you called out. But what else could we see banned away from the top lane into the Gnar? The Vayne is gone. The Ambessa is gone here. Jace has already been used and is out due to Fearless. Yes. What other answers are there?
Well, the Vayne's gone, that Ambess is gone. You can still do some spicy things like a Varus, I suppose. I'm sure there actually are significantly more, but I'm having a momentary mind blank. Could always look towards doing something like a Scion as well, right? If you want to play more towards those team fights. Obviously just came off a Cassante game that was exceptional, had a great time on it, and proved to be really irritating for BLG to manage. Talia banned away from Knight, who has started to go back towards that. I would have said it could go towards Viper, of course, but with the Ezreal locked in, unless we really are pulling something weird out, that's likely going towards that player. Rumble, of course, a champion that is nearly always hitting the ban list, at least in the second phase these days, is perhaps a little less bannable than he once was.
Yeah, and one thing that you pointed out a little earlier too is Viper picking up that Ezreal, right? So Viper has shown such a broad range of skill and champions, I want to say, is able to more than competently play these mages and more than competently able to play those traditional AD carries. So I'm loving what we're seeing out of him, but it's up to the rest of the team to sort of play around Viper on this Ezreal. But there's a pick that you like.
Tristana picked into the Gnar. We've seen this from one or two top laners around the world. We said, okay, Siwoo, what do you have to deal with the Gnar? That's a fun one. You can definitely look to play very aggressively with things like the Hail of Blades. It is a very volatile matchup, and you need it not to go wrong, because when it does, Tristana from behind doesn't have a lot of fun.
Tristana from behind is not a champion, basically. Like, you're trying to build Tristana up, and if she can't get those items, she can't be that other AD carry. This is a high damage composition coming out of DK, and that is not a tank in your top lane, so you're going to need to be really, really careful in these team fights. But I love Twisted Fate here, able to get around the map very quickly with a lot of lockdown and a lot of damage as well.
And again, when you've got the Neferi as well, you can take those towards one of those side lanes, use that global from the Twisted Fate and look to make those dives happen. Last pick of the Poppy for Lucid to try and deny some of these dashes from the Neferi, from the Ezreal, from that Gnar.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I love seeing with the steadfast presence from this Poppy, right? You look at a team that has a lot of dashes, you can pop your steadfast presence, and the entire time the steadfast presence is up, it will prevent those dashes. It's not like it's a one and done. But once it's out, you're free to play, right? So it's about the timing of it. We've seen it used effectively before. Here at EWC 2026, there was a Vi re-engage, and the Poppy popped that steadfast presence, and Vi just, whoop, done. Couldn't get in and died.
Indeed. Actually, the moment I think about it, I think Ezreal E is a blink, so would actually not be stopped by the W, so worth calling that one out. Oops, sorry for mentioning that one a little earlier, but still is important nonetheless. And again, it's early playmaking, which can be important to try and deal with something like the Neferi at the very least in that 1v1 matchup.
And let's remind the viewers at home what is at stake. Dplus Kia are on match point here in his best of 3 against the LPL's BLG. If you lose here today, you are done. You are dusted. Your key will get crushed, and it will go to, as you've coined, the Boulevard of Broken Dreams initialized. Such a fantastic quote.
Sometimes you just need to make a Green Day reference or two. It's the way of these things. Just waiting to load onto the Rift, and you're absolutely right. Because again, BLG came into MSI as one of the tournament favorites alongside the likes of HLE. HLE are now no longer in EWC 2026.
Yep.
BLG are 0-1, one game away from not being in EWC 2026. And again, the schedules have been hard for these teams that have been winning a lot domestically, that have been going through the international circuit. Your time to turn around and turn up to these kind of tournaments is very short indeed. Dplus Kia have had a little bit more time to prepare, come in, and honestly, they have been so resilient. They showed it in Game 1. They can show it here in Game 2. Again, they've got another fun draft, that Tristana top for Siwoo. See whether it works.
One thing that I love there is they were flashing the emotes and Viper with the BLG, but I also saw a JDG emote coming out of one of them. So, you know, they know they're the last LPL representative. They know that they need to get this done here at EWC 2026 at the Kadia City Battleground. And already we see them in position. The bot lane's trading. Bin on that Gnar, patiently waiting in that brush. Hasn't spotted Siwoo, is just going to return to the lane. But we take a look at those wards, right? They're very classic, very traditional wards, because you want that information on the opposition jungler. You want to know where they'll be in a minute and a half, and now is when you find that out. This trading has begun. But vision control is always so important, and I feel like it's almost an underestimated part of the game by, dare I say, and I'm going to probably get some flame for this, most solo queue players.
Certainly by me, but I'm not a particularly excellent solo queue player, it must be said. Little note here as well, Siwoo with the exhaust in that top lane for that 1v1, but playing towards the spot side, fighting for the level 2 heal popped by both Korea and On.
Yeah, one thing I expect to come out of Siwoo here is a healthy CS advantage. Does have a serious range advantage over Nah, and needs to abuse that hard, fast, and early. Because if you're going even with Bin on that Nah, you are behind when it comes to those team fights. Because that range should be very, very punishing into the Nah. But we do take a look across the Rift. A very, very minor gold lead over to DK already by this 2-minute mark. And right now, I think I'm looking for Lucid to make some plays. This Poppy has that movement speed, can be unpredictable in the locations where Poppy goes. And looking for these high-value steadfast presence to either make or break plays that BLG want to put forward. A little bit of trading on the bot side, but it's A-okay. They're just going to back away. A couple of summoners burnt heals on both sides as everyone else, everywhere else. Sean looking on the top side. Siwoo might be caught here.
Whoa, he's in danger. The pack is called. The exhaust down, but there's a flash on forward. Flash out from the Tristana. Survives, but is down both of her summoners.
Yeah, I really like this play. That's a win, right? What a lot of people need to realize is that if you go in and you get their flash, that's a win. You just come back anytime within the next 5 minutes, and they are so gankable. But Lucid.
Indeed, he's looking to come over the wall and actually smites it out. Very nicely done. Shun now, though, might look to trade with this Poppy. The Conqueror stacked, eviscerates in. There's no W. Oh, Lucid! This might have been a touch far. The flash gets them safe. Shun comes across. Bin dies in a 1v1. Siwoo on the Tristana. No summoners, no problem.
Siwoo had no flash, but neither did Bin, so Bin's unable to get away from that Tristana, who doubtlessly jumped on top of them. Lucid, running for his life, has the blue and the red buff, but is looking for this execute to deny the gold over. Then that should be all
very cleanly done. So nice. So nice. We'll get the replay. Lucid gets away with it. Bin does not. Here's what happened in that top lane 1v1.
Bin aggresses forward. Siwoo just sidesteps, starts stacking up that damage, jumps on top of Bin as well, and then that's all she wrote. I mean, Siwoo didn't even have to dodge that last skill shot, literally stood there and gunned Bin down.
I mean, the Nah was blinded, and we said, okay, what do you have, Siwoo? The Tristana is here and looks excellent. Backs away with the Berserker Creeps. A reminder, that's after the flash went down. That's after the exhaust went down. We said, hey, that could be a problem. The top side matchup undoes a lot of woes. Shun here in this bot side, though, looking to try and find another angle for an attack. Korea forced to flash away as the dogs and the Darking Dagger landed.
Yeah, good early flash load to prevent any follow-up there from BLG. Deadly Flourish to prevent the recall, slow their tempo down. But both sides just going to walk away from this one. Nothing really lost except Korea's flash, which in turn gives BLG that summoner advantage on that bot side. Lucid, I can't believe it. He went so deep into BLG's jungle just to smite that camp and very nearly died for it.
I mean, he does, but it's an execute, and he gets the camp, and he actually gets Shun's flash as well. That's a win, as far as I'm concerned. Also, now looking into this mid lane, I'll note that ShowMaker is doing a great job so far in tonight, up about 10 CS. I know, obviously, Rise, a very potent laner on the TF, sometimes takes a little while to come online, but still very well done. Lucid taking the opportunity to get onto this Raptor camp. Bit of a fight happening here as the W tether will be broken. On left pretty low. Smite fight secured there, I believe, by Shun, but I might need to have a look back on that one as actually I see Lucid Smite on cooldown. Likely a win for the Poppy.
Yeah, Korea was doing a great job there, keeping on in the lane, unable to assist around that jungle camp as well. Knight just constantly chipping away, peppering with that damage as well. We get a little emote out of Smash. I wonder what brought that one on. However, the first strike of the game is on Summoner's Rift. The DK find themselves with an early advantage, nearly a 1,000 gold lead, and most of that is on Siwoo after that first blood on Bin. Gets the kill, gets that first blood bounty bonus, happy days. And like you called out, with that Berserker Greaves, that extra move speed, that extra attack speed, to be able to stack more autos during that ability and get more damage down on Bin, making his life so much harder. Bin, though, only 10 CS away. I think that's actually pretty decent in this situation.
No, it's not. Viper gets away from that deadly flourish. Korea looks with the mantra Q, that soul flare. Knight looking to try and find an angle here as well, gets that gold card down. Doesn't necessarily find the moment he's looking for. He actually gets slowed down there by the rune prism without the essence flux on, so it's not a root, just a slow.
It looked like Knight had started to channel a recall, not expecting ShowMaker to be there to follow up. So ShowMaker able to delay the recall, get a little extra damage on tonight. A great little punish there is Lucid looking to get something onto Shun. Shun sees it though on that ward because Lucid went over it. GK,
Another one smite there, Shun. Not on it there on his camps right now. Gets that blue buff away. Very nice. And it should be the level 6 here of this Scuttle Crab too.
And this is a worrying trend. We saw that smite on that Baron in game 1, and they let it live on 1 health for a little too long. The smite effectively missing here, and Shun now missing basic jungle camps with these smite. He needs to lock in and remember who he is.
Siwoo taking the opportunity. Mini node transformation. Buster shot. And the rocket jump out. There's a destiny gate to flash gold card and make it the 1-for-1. But Siwoo came here to play and finds another solo kill.
Yeah, really well done by there, Siwoo, to get that kill on the bin, forcing Knight to respond. Because if you let Siwoo get away there, that low health, the punish is incredible. The gold lead, 1,000 for DK on Siwoo alone, because the rest of BLG in that mid lane, Knight getting that kill, able to mitigate that.
Destiny Gate successful, finds the value they're looking for. But again, I have to go back to draft. I have to go back and say, look, there is an adage that's probably the way I'm going to phrase it. I'm in France, we'll stick with it. That goes, if you blind pick something for long enough, it's no longer a blind pick. There are too many answers. Gnar is becoming one of those champions. You try and defend it by adding in a couple bans, but another answer here in this Tristana has worked really well right now for Shu. And again, reminder, it started looking pretty dodgy because he had to blow the flash, had to blow the exhaust, but is now in a really strong position. He's the one at the 1,200 gold this time around.
That's it, and DK, they're prioritizing these grubs. They've got the members there. It is on Vision. BLG know it's happening, and the first Drake of the game is still alive on Summoner's Rift in the Drake pit, and it's getting some blue pings. It looks like they just placed Vision, and they might want to contest this here too, but I want to point out a ward here. If you look at the minimap on the top side, there is a red ward behind Siwoo. So if BLG want to look for it, they could go for a deep TP.
They could indeed. Viper was really threatening there. Has got a true shot barrage that will interrupt Smash's ult. The reason he didn't throw it out initially, because he was kind of betting on it. Bin hops in, gets exhausted, and Buster shot it away. Nearly at the mini. There will be a reset on that rocket jump. Oh, Bin, you need to be so careful.
Siwoo!
He's dead. Absolutely broken in half. The Tristana here to play.
Siwoo with the Tristana counterpick is running Bin on this rift. Good flash from Korea.
And gets out. The encore leads to nothing. BLG, you need to start finding some proactivity soon because these plays are not going your way. Bin is 0-3.
And here's the thing, Siwoo with the fancy feet is dodging pretty much everything Bin wants to do on this Gnar. As we go back to the second kill here onto Bin on that Gnar, where he went under that turret, and there's the instant ult from Knight to make sure he gets something back. The flash forward to get the gold card before he doesn't see him in that vision. So a heavy commitment from BLG to lock that down, but Siwoo, unperturbed, keeps driving home this advantage in the top side.
And what a statement from this player, right? Game 1, locks in the Cassante, still finds fantastic angles in the team fights, becomes such a bulwark for the squad, flanking, dragging people out of position with the all-outs repeatedly into the Jace from Bin. That's something that's very iconic for that player, who was down the 1,200 gold, takes a very different archetype of matchup, goes for the Tristana and shows Bin how it's done. Huge from Siwoo and this young top laner from Dplus Kia.
That's it, but we are only 10 minutes into a game that traditionally goes for around 30. We're 1/3 of the way, so there's still a lot of the journey in this game left. Yes, Tristana is ahead, and that is exactly what you want here and now in your top laner, because you are oppressing Bin. You are keeping him down and out. So that means when we get to those team team fights, he's not going to have as much impact because he doesn't have that item advantage. He doesn't have that experience, that gold. But the rest of BLG, they're stepping up. There's gold advantage in that mid lane. There's gold advantage in that bot side. Yes, it's only a little bit, but you love to see it because they're staying in this game.
Right, he's going to get interrupted. The Destiny Gate is looking like a gate to hell. He needs to start running away, smited for the slow. ShowMaker's here. Go to Room Prison. Do not pass go. Do not pick up 350 gold, because that's going to ShowMaker.
ShowMaker getting it done there, but it kicked off with Lucid on tonight. Like you called, preventing that ultimate. He was unable to teleport away from them. And I just love that 2-on-1. Nothing Knight could do there. And that's chipping away at BLG's gold lead as the fight breaks out on this bot side, but I don't think they're going to get anything done here.
Might not. Viper slowed down by that captive audience. A deadly flourish has to flash away from because there's a realm orb here. Curtain call. ShowMaker, playmaker. And they find the kill on the curtain call. Final bullet goes wide. But everything Dplus Kia touches this game is turning to gold.
Dplus Kia, my apologies. They are playing like their lives depend on this. They are taking every fight and they are winning. It feels like BLG don't have a way in right now. The only reason they've got that one kill on the board is because Siwoo dove under the turret to make sure he took out Bin. This is a team in fine form, and ShowMaker, I mean, he's keeping it going.
Is for now. Again, Knight 1-on-1, not exactly been able to make that many successful plays. Got interrupted on his second Destiny Gate for that death. Bot lane getting that kill. Bin, we've already talked about how Siwoo's been doing. Minute and a half till the next Dragon. Would be theoretically second for BLG if they can pick it up.
Yeah, that's it. That Infernal Dragon was picked up there by BLG a little bit earlier, but the grubs are on the side of DK as well, so there's just a trade of jungle objectives. 1 minute to the second Drake of the game, 2 minutes to that Rift Herald, which could bust these maps wide open. A little bit of trading. Deadly Flourish.
Oh, smash! Flash fourth shot, and the Seraphine, well, I guess she'll be singing in the afterlife.
And here's how it came about. It was about a minute ago on that bot side when the Deadly Flourish went, and On was forced to flash away, so he knew this Deadly Flourish would land. He knew he had that kill dead to rights. DK, 2K up, 6-1. Where is BLG in this early game? They're crumbling under the weight of the pressure. DK, they're hitting their level 11 power spikes, those secondary level ultimates here. I mean, BLG, they have to do something. They have to bring it together. Where is Shunbin? 0-0-0. Viper, 0-0-0.
Huge plays from Dplus Kia in the early stages of this game. Find themselves with a healthy advantage. Can look to contest around this Dragon should they so choose. Again, they've got a Rise, they've got a Tristana and 3 grubs. They can also afford, potentially, to play for these side lane turrets, play for a 1-4 or a 1-3-1, and look to play the map a little wider on. Gonna get rooted up there by the Renewal. Destiny Gate. Korea might have gone a bit deep, but Flash immediately followed by their own Flash. This is likely to kill on Korea. Nowhere to go. Knight gets it, and that will set up for a second Dragon for BLG.
But it was such a heavy commitment. They got the Flash out of Knight again for that. They got the ult out of On. They got the Arcane Shift of Viper, which obviously is a small cooldown, but there was 3 players that had to spend so much just to kill a single support as a topside fight has broken out.
Cleared the wave away. Bin still with the Meganar means he's unlikely to die here, so just about plays the weak side outright, but he's about to go mini and Lucid hasn't left. Here comes On. Will have the ability to surround sound shield. Does use that, and Bin should now be safe. Tristana able to get another plate here at the minimum, though.
Yeah, really good play there from DK as well. Lucid coming up to that top side, nullifies the counterplay from Bin onto Siwoo. Siwoo is sticking around, but there was some great wards there too, so Bin knew that second Lucid run-up was coming, and great response from BLG to send members topside. As we see this fight on the mid lane again, beautiful Deadly Flash, flash forward, 4th shot, down goes On.
The dancing grenade bounces across every minion in the wave, it feels like, into the Deadly Flourish. The Flash, so smoothly done, so smoothly done. Still a good gold lead here to Dplus Kia, but the Dragon stacking is there for BLG. They're within touching distance, feels somewhat like an inversion of last game. I'd argue, to be honest, Dplus Kia more proactive even than we saw from BLG in game 1, but with how these two teams have played, I feel like there's still a few twists and turns yet.
Absolutely. It's 15 minutes into this game. BLG, they might be down, but they're definitely not out here. But I'm loving the level of play we're seeing from DK, that proactivity. I called it before with Lucid. I want to see him being a menace across the rift, and so far he is doing that. He's been in the right places at the right time when he's needed to be. Shun, though, is keeping up in farm, has that Cycler sword compared to Lucid's Sundered Sky. So one's going for a more damage-heavy build, the other for a bit more sustained. But a fight around the Rift Herald.
That it is. Shun steps into the river, looks to try and tag Lucid if he can, can't quite. Flash on the beat drop. The Hound's pursuit and Korea is dead. Over, Flash, heroic charge of the wall. In comes the Realm Orb, Shun gets the rest W eventually, but on left low. Shun alive, but now needs to reset. Viper, desperate to dance around somewhere, can't. Siwoo busts a shot away and survives. Bin, hop forwards, flashes on in, gets that last auto, but Smash is there, the grenade, and a double for the AD carry of Dplus Kia.
Dplus Kia win the fight. They send 4 members of BLG packing and leave 2 of their own alive, so they're going to push this mid lane advantage that they have. Deadly Flourish lands, roots up Knight, but I think that will end that fight.
Able to clear out the wave, just about a 3 for 4, I believe, in favor of Dplus Kia. We'll get the replay because it's a frantic one.
Yeah, we take a look here. Career is basically in a 3v1 toward this mid. Smash is there as well, but Career walking forward confidently. 3 members of BLG. The flash forward from On to root Career up. The ultimate from Viper over the top. Lucid does get a great stun, forcing the W out of Shun. The TP's committed. 2 from BLG to come straight back in. But we look on the bot side. Lucid's chasing Shun. Shun tries to go over the wall. Lucid, though, is able to lock him up with that Deadly Flash from Smash. Siwoo against the wall because of Bin. Bin goes down in the face of ShowMaker and Smash, and that is all she wrote.
The gold lead's still there for Dplus Kia. Dragon's still there for BLG. 10-5 the kill score as we stand. It's where that gold is, I think, that will be more important. 2,000 of it is in Siwoo's advantage. And again, you are a top lane Tristana. Your draw a bead passive that increases your range extends with every level. As a top laner, you get more levels. ShowMaker might be in danger here. Jumps onto Lucid instead. Damage is good with the boulder toss. BLG hear him force. The Hound's pursuit. No steadfast presence for Lucid means he's down. That's a reset for Shun. And poor old ShowMaker ain't making many plays anymore.
Yeah, it was a good job there by DK to try and drag that one out, but BLG just brought the members. They juggled that turret aggro beautifully, and on that bot side, they prevented Career from being able to get from that tier 2 up to that tier 1 to try and do anything about that fight. BLG, they turned that top side priority, that team fight that they just won, onto this Rift Herald, and BLG right now, they are large and in charge of these jungle objectives. They've got the first 2 Drakes, they've got this Rift Herald, and the 3rd Drake of the game is up only in 1 minute's time. So they're stacking very much online.
Significant win from there. Knight, of course, with the Lich Bane. Able to get a significant amount of work done here on this top lane turret. Reminder, they've got all of the turrets in the game for them to claim. 3 already down for Dplus Kia. Back at this replay, though, Lucid with the W. Probably a little early, I fear.
Yeah, I do like that they used that lens to try and get some vision control. They knew this play was coming. There was nothing that they could do about it because BLG just brought everyone to that top side. And it almost feels like they didn't lose anything anywhere else across the Rift either because DK, they were forced to respond. Career was running out to that top side as well.
Gonna try and come into the mid lane. That's 2 members. Good hop away from Viper. On, though, gets an encore off, but it's his final moment in that particular play, picked up by Dplus Kia.
Dplus Kia will not be put down. They will not be perturbed by the giants of the LPL, BLG. They laugh in the face of these odds right now, Initialize, and they start up this Mountain Drake to try and slow BLG's Dragon stacking down. This will be the first Drake of the game for DK, and it buys an extra 5 minutes before that Soul condition is online. But we were talking about gold leads a little bit earlier. DK currently at 1K. BLG, they've been chipping it down. That gold lead has been, becoming smaller over time. And look at where the gold is here. Siwoo, 2.2K, but Knight, 4-1-1. And we've seen him carry games before. That is a dangerous TF right now.
Root there onto Knight briefly with that Deadly Flourish. Won't turn into anything more, of course. Worth noting, a significant chunk of Knight's gold lead will be from his passive, that stack deck, giving more the extra golds. still does keep them in touching distance. They've got a couple turrets as well. That's standing gold available to them if they can just get to those turrets in mid and bot outer.
But here's the thing, Knight is literally a full item ahead of ShowMaker. He also has a 7-stack Dark Seal, so that advantage from Knight over ShowMaker alone means these team fights are harder. It means Knight can more easily 1v1 anyone else across that rift. Does have a slight experience advantage, but that's about it. But Siwoo does have a full level over Bin on that Nah. And like you called out, top laners can get up to level 20, which gives more range, more damage over to Siwoo in the later stages of these games. Whereas Nah, I don't think scales as hard and high in that 19th and 20th levels. So if this game goes long enough, I dare say that advantage will go to DK.
3 minutes until the next Dragon or so. Might be our next port of call. We have got Baron up, but I don't think either team necessarily wants to rush that.
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, the vision control is there from both teams as well. A lot of BLGs on that bot side through jungle. DKs all through that river. Both teams really want the intel on their opponents. They really want to know when that Baron is pulled or if they're going to make those plays towards that Drake. Because even if the Drake isn't up for another 3 minutes, right? You've got the wards in the area. You will see when they send the sweepers. You will see when they go and clear it. So your support knows, hey, they're clearing that out. I've got to go and clear it and get my own vision down. It's just, that's a common war with supports. It's a vision war. And sometimes you do die for control of that vision before the fight breaks out, handing that advantage over your opponents.
Just a stalling game, a holding game for now. Playing around this mid lane wave shove. TF was roaming up the river, but doesn't want to pull the trigger as it stands, and neither team feels that willing to pull on an aggressive play right now. If there was a timer, it would be now. Try and earn yourself some summoners, try and earn yourself an ult or two ahead of this potentially critical Dragon fight.
Yeah, and to that point, right, every single ultimate up on the side of BLG, every single ultimate up on the side of DK, every single summoner's up. So the next fight, which almost feels inevitable at this point, will be explosive. It will be massive. BLG drop the Rift Herald. They're forcing DK into this mid lane, and they know it because they demand a response.
Knight TP's in. They get the roots. Oh, the encore. And Korea is spellbound. Dead in the mid lane. That turret falls shortly after.
Good heads-up play there from BLG. Great timing. I love it as that trap into that Deadly Flourish as well. Gets another root, but there's no follow-up, right? DK down a member.
Might be some follow-up on the ShowMaker who got spotted by that Destiny Gate. Good chunk on the Lucid. Knight, though, does not enjoy ShowMaker, who unleashes his full arsenal. Continues to run on left low. The curtains get cold. Shot for the body block. ShowMaker overloads straight through the members of BLG and makes it overall a 1-for-1.
Absolutely bent that bullet through space and time to make sure he landed it onto On, getting that 1-for-1 trade, something back for DK, and what was ultimately a disastrous mid here. We see it again. Rift Herald drop. That's going to force the response out of DK. They have to bring the members. They've seen 4 members of BLG. They know they want this mid tower. A great Deadly Flourish to lock On up, but Career oversteps, is caught out by the E double root from On into the Encore and is CC'd to death. But here's where the follow-up happens. Knight, rooted, and like you said, goes for that TP because he sees the vision on ShowMaker alone on the side. ShowMaker steps straight into that brush, though, preventing vision from Knight. He's able to chip him down, and then the rest of DK are here. ShowMaker still stepping forward into 3, and it allows them to get that 1 kill back.
The Deathfire touch, I think, in the end was just enough burn to claim the kill. 15 seconds on Dragon. We're down a fair number of summoners. ShowMaker, none of his available. Could be critical. Knight's got his flash alongside pretty much every other member of BLG. Could potentially be the difference maker as it's BLG in the river first.
That's it. This is the 4th Drake of the game, and BLG, they want it. They have the priority. They have the vision control. DK trying to find a way in.
TP.
A deep TP from behind, though. BLG know what's happening.
Nars coming as well. Don't know whether it's the Mega Gnar. They get the gold card onto Siwoo. Buffers through, but it's down at half HP because that Lich Bane hurts. Knight at 20% himself. Both the Tristana and the Twisted Fate without a lot of value. Korea also chunked low.
Yeah, great counter punch there from BLG. They commit their own TP to bring the members down. Knight taking a recall right now, wants to top up, probably has that ultimate to be able to get back out to this fight quite quickly. DK not done, ultimate coming through.
Keeper's verdict is interrupted with an encore and it doesn't land anyway. Shun wins a smite fight, Lucid loses his life, Realm Warp to escape, DK trying to escape, Shun gets redirected somehow and gets the kill on Korea. Realm Warp puts him pretty deep though, Smash trying to speed himself away and does so.
Yeah, disastrous fight there for DK. BLG take 3. DK make good their escape though. Smash and ShowMaker able to get away, but a masterful play there from BLG, right? DK had the advantage. They were pushing in on that Drake. They were getting that vision control down, and they had that deep flanking TP, but BLG saw it and immediately collapsed onto Siwoo. Yes, he was able to buffer, but he was unable to contribute to the fight, and because of that, they get this Baron because Lucid is still very much dead. Siwoo is still very much dead, and BLG are answering back.
Soul Point, Baron, and a gold lead. Somehow it is the inversion of Game 1A. It's been back and forth between these two teams, but BLG here come out critically on top.
Yeah, they've already got this health bar advantage from the previous skirmish as well, so they can trade a little more heavily into DK. Great encore here to disrupt Lucid's ultimate, unable to repel these members from BLG. Knight turns up, a Realm Warp that Career is able to take, but Shun follows Career. There's nothing he can do about that one. BLG tidy up the back end of this fight, and DK are left running with their tails between their legs.
Suddenly things look a lot harder to execute Knight, because of course he does. Bax buys himself and Medjai's his 15 stacks already, has an arm guard as well, and the early advantages from Dplus Kia look a lot harder to execute with Siwoo though onto Knight, but this time here is Shun. He's bled out by the Darkin daggers and the Tristana from 3-1 to 4-4, the value beginning to dwindle.
Yeah, I mean, BLG, they're up nearly 4,000 gold with this Baron power play. TP from BLG being committed here. They want to siege this bot side base of DK. They know they have the numbers advantage. It's 4 versus 5. Now is the time to push. Siwoo's dead for 30 seconds more.
And the wave clear is risky. You don't want to end up walking too far forwards, and these turrets are just getting annihilated.
Annihilating this base is BLG. DK doing the dance, trying to prevent any more happening. But that's 2 Baron-empowered cannon minions. They are putting in so much work. A good defense from DK, a better siege from BLG.
You can see Shun is actually the one shoving the mid lane, hasn't been with the squad. Getting that wave corralled towards the mid-tier 2.
Yeah, and that's what these teams do a lot of the times, right? They'll split push. They'll go 4-1 or 3-1-1 to try and maximize the value of their Baron. But a fight inevitable here around this tier 2 mid.
Deadly Flourish just about wide of Shun there. Certainly no stun. And that means the tier 2 falls as well, and the gold lead balloons to a monstrous 6k. Feeling challenging now indeed for Dplus Kia to find their way back in.
Yeah, and I'm loving what I'm seeing out of BLG here. They didn't overplay their hand. They got that bot side tier 2. They got the inhibitor turret and the inhibitor, and then they immediately rotated around to that mid, and look at the gold lead. In the last 2 minutes alone, it has ballooned from around 2k to 5.6k. BLG, 3 Drakes, 30 seconds on the Baron power play, which is at 4k. 1.5 minutes till the next Drake of the game, and this could be Mountain Soul for BLG. Finn will love that.
That's something like an 8k gold swing from the highs of Dplus Kia now to BLG firmly in command. Those turrets that they've been waiting to take down now all fallen in their favor. Minute and a half until Mountain Soul. The Medjai stacks are in for Knight, so between that and the rapid fire, he is so fast. Knight
is literally full build. Bin now has the level advantage over Siwoo. Shun 2 levels up over Lucid. What an amazing turnaround here. DK, they had the early advantage. They had that aggression. They were making those plays, but BLG have just found their way back into this game. They've breached the 6k gold mark right now. DK, they need to find something. Maybe a pick onto Knight. He's got a 700 gold bounty on his head.
Here we go.
Be a high value target.
On's in danger, does speed himself away, but gets shoved away, but not into the wall. The keeper's verdict, knock up, but no kill. Stun instead onto ShowMaker, who realm warped into the back line, is able to speed himself away. Bin here with the teleport shield and the Mega Nod just about to time out. Throws a boulder, tries to get the shove back, doesn't quite find it. ShowMaker survives for now. Bin in the mini. Viper goes forward with that arcane shift. The damage is there, the encore. Tag ShowMaker. Rise isn't taken low. The gold card follows, and the poke keeps rolling.
Yeah, what a... Oh, Knight goes back in.
Oh, Siwoo, Destiny Gate. The Buster Shot keeps him alive. Flash in from Viper with an arcade shift. Bim with the boomerang slow. Desperate to stop more falling, but they're corralled on their own tier 2. BLG unwilling to let this one slide. They're fish under a turret. It's not quite the same, but they're still on the hook. The line, and see whether they will be sinking with this game. Another gold card. Golden goes Knight, eviscerating in is Shun. They're all so low. The deadly flourish not there. In they go. Shun gets it. Immediately taken out. The Hound's Pursuit reset. Doesn't come on through. The curtain call comes on down, and Knight should just about escape.
Oh, what a great play from Lucid there, though, just to lock Shun up under that turret so they get something back. As we did see BLG trying to aggress forward, they didn't have a wave while they had DK caught under that turret there, but they take that team fight, they get that priority, they get that pressure, and they run straight to the Drake, because this will be Mountain Soul for BLG. They will be that much harder to kill. They will have that much more gold lead, and it is starting to feel like wallet diff here. We see Randuins, we see Hysterics on Bin. He's going to be impossible to kill when he gets that shield trigger as well. Critical damage is significantly reduced, and it just feels like Siwoo has almost fallen off here in the face of the oppressive power and strength of BLG.
Have a look at this replay again. They attempted to make the pick onto On, but he escapes, and then Dplus Kia are on full retreat, and credit to them, they do a decent job of buying time.
And this fight is so long as well. They're trading summoners, they're trading ultimates, and you would think there'd be a couple more kills in this phase of the fight, but DK are able to dodge a lot of the damage that BLG are trying to get done here. We do see Knight follow up on the back end, and immediately Siwoo buster shots to get rid of Knight, but the shift forward from Viper takes him out, and it gives them the numbers advantage, and it gives them the confidence to go under this tower. No wave for BLG here though, so it is all on them. And we see they turn onto Knight. He's forced to stopwatch. And Lucid with that, I love that there. Lucid keeping Jun locked up under the turret. So it gives DK something back. It wasn't a massive loss.
No, back to life. Tier 2's falling. They do get the Tristana to shove on up. Has at least got to the QSS, which helped against that gold card as we saw. Hang on, needs to be in danger as he's rocket jumped in. QSS is there. Flash from Knight. Exhausted, still gets the kill with the last auto. ShowMaker trying to run away, but all the while the Baron's going down, and both your solo laners are on the bot lane.
What can you do right now? BLG are everywhere on the Rift. They're making the plays. They're leaving only 2 members because they know they have this Baron secured. They're going to reset, spend that gold that they've earned for themselves, and come back out onto the Rift. ShowMaker in retreat on that bot side. We do see Lucid back in base after taking that recall, but members of BLG, they're aggressing into DK's topside jungle here. They're trying to get that vision control. They're trying to rob DK's jungler of any minions that he can get here. It takes gold, it takes experience, it takes time. But look at these items. We've got the Infinity Edge, the Storm Surge, the Rapid Fire Cannon for Smash, the Rod of Ages, the Actualizer as well for ShowMaker. So the damage is there. Now it's...
Oh, the Encore is there. Shun with the Darkin daggers brings low Lucid again. 0, 6, and 6. It has not been his game. Now with the Baron, with Mountain Soul, with waves coming crashing in, Dplus Kia have to stand against what feels the inevitable win from BLG.
Yeah, they're 5v4 as well for another 30 seconds. Lucid having gone down in that fight there. They were already 5v4. Siwoo over the wall.
Just annihilated. He's gone again. I need to find a new word, but maybe it's still appropriate because he just got blasted. Shun, the reset on the ult available, doesn't need to pull it as yet, and they are onto all the inhibitors. The Nexus turrets remain, and Dplus Kia, men down, waves down, inhibitors down, and looking like the game down to boot.
BLG are taking it from here. DK locked up under their own turrets. They're locked up under their own Nexus. BLG is sieging. They've turned onto the Nexus. BLG will take this game too.
BLG even it up. It is not a 0-2. The crowd goes wild, and the competition continues.